I'll do more later tonight. And yeah, I'm quite that keen to finish this lucky numbers game. So right now, what we have done until now is to do this card mechanic, where from the deck, the cards will fly out to the diagonals of each player, and the cards are all grouped in ascending order. Okay, that's what has been done so far. All this has been done using this very cool lambda function in the sort to sort by increasing order after you've taken a modulo 20. And actually that's because we actually have the cards from 1 to 40, and then like those cards above a certain number will be colored blue, those cards below will be colored yellow, if I'm not wrong. Or it could be the other way around. I mean, I can see the clover one. So color 1, if num greater than 20, then color 1. So what is color 1? So we can go see color 1. So it's yellow. So basically, if the number is greater than 20, the color will be yellow, like these colors. So this is how we represent color and the number with just a single number, because it will be quite irritating to just have to keep representing two numbers. So yeah, just one number will do. Okay, so now we have done with all this. What we want to do next is we need to do for player turn. Okay, so for each player turn, okay, let's ignore the table for now. Okay, so what we have to do now is for each player turn, uh, a clover will come to him over here at this space here, and then he will then choose one of his available boxes to place the clover. Let's just do this mechanic for now. So the first clover will come to player one. Player one can click on one of his squares to put the clover. Then the next clover will come to player two. Player two will choose one of his squares to put the clover. Of course, all these choosing squares, uh, that part will program later. Okay, they can also choose the table actually. Yeah, so yeah, regardless of where they choose, okay, the clover will fly there. So let's try to make that mechanic work. Okay, so over here, uh, okay, hold on. So in the update, okay, so we need to have a player turn here. So like for example, here, yeah, the start player turn equals to one. Okay, that's player one move. Okay, so in the update, okay, I need to call. I need to have a way to have a function to put the deck to the player one grid. So maybe we have this void deck to playing square. The playing square is down here. Okay, so deck to playing square, num and pause. Okay, actually we don't need a pause. We just and maybe in player num. Okay, so what we'll do is, okay, so we will want to have a, a playing square. Okay, so okay, so this current clover, after you are done putting to the grid, we put it to be now. So we use this current clover now to denote whether or not we have a move that has, when the current clover is now. So if no current clover, or actually maybe let's not use the current clover as a way to like, just I scared when we do like that to grid, and then you do a now, and after it might go to update. So let's not do this. instead let's just do a initial to play bool to play. Okay, so initially it will be true. Okay, so if to play, okay, then back to playing square. Okay, and we remove clover. So what we do is remove clover and then a player turn like that. Okay, so if it is the current turn to play, all right, then we will make the clover fly to the player's playing position. Okay, and then the player turn equals to 2 minus player turn, and to play equals to force. Set the next player's turn. Okay, so to play will be force over here. So when there's a need to play, to make a move, make the clover fly to the current play clover position, and then we 2 minus player turn basically is well, actually it's 3 minus player turn because it's player 1 and player 2, and to play is force. Okay, so deck to player square. It's the same thing as here. Okay, just that the playing square for both players are different. Okay, so I don't really have a playing square component here. So maybe it's time to add one. So public game object. Okay, player one square, P1 square, and P2 square. Okay, so let's undo the play button. Okay, so what's this error deck to? Oh no, oh no. Okay, so if player turn is one, then the current clover will be this one will be P1 square. Else, okay, the current clover will be P2 square. Easy as that, right? Of course, this is not the final game because sometimes you can take from the table directly rather than from the deck. But either way, regardless of where you take from, it will always go to your playing square. So okay, so and the same thing, we set the number and then we set the position. Okay, so over here, I realized the deck dot transform dot position is the same. Okay, because it will come from the deck. Okay, and then after that we will set number, set position. Okay, the position that it will go to will be the playing square. So it will be, so actually this statement should be at the bottom actually, not at the top. Player turn is one. Else this clover position will be to the P2 square. Okay, so something like this. So this is the function for deck to playing square. It will lead the it will basically lead the card to fly from the deck to the playing square of each player. So deck to playing square does not exist. That's because I spelled it wrongly. So it should be square like that. Okay, so now we need to give our game manager the details of the playing square. Okay, because I said there's a playing square. So where is this playing square? Okay, indeed. Where's the playing square? Oh no, is it under the draw area? Yeah. So this is P1 playing square, and this is P2 playing square. Yes. So that's about it. And then when we have to play, okay, we make a player fly to the current player. We go to the deck to playing square, and then yes, okay. So basically, when all this is done, the current clover will be the clover that has flown over here. So we had to do some modification for button click. Instead of set position, transform dot position, okay, we will find object of type game manager, okay, dot, well, because we need to know uh, what to go, which clover to make fly. So we need to let the game manager do it, okay, because game manager is the manager for everyone. Everyone reports to the game manager, and then from there, then we will proceed to distribute our resources, our clovers away from. Uh, we will direct the movement of our clovers using game manager. So when we click on the button, okay, we find the game manager and we call a function to pass our transform position of this button. So maybe what we'll do is we will put click, not activate button, or maybe we could just do like fly to location. Okay, similar to what happened for the clover here is fly towards. So basically, maybe we could just put set location. So over here, when we call public void set location, and then over here we have a vector tree look position, okay, current clover dot get component clover dot set position pause, and that's it. So the button, okay, so the button will have some to do, add some conditions on when the click can be activated. So this one we haven't done yet, but we will do it later. And then we'll get the game object, and then we'll tell the game object, okay, the position that has been activated is here. And then we ask the current clover, which is the clover that has just been put to the playing square, we get it to go there. Okay, and then once we call set location, okay, we will then set to play to be true, because once the location has been pressed, it means that we can ask the next player to go ahead, take your next move. So to play will be true, and then when we get this, we can then do the next move to update this. Okay, we can even do this in a coroutine. So like we can do start coroutine next play. Okay, so this will be an I enumerator. Okay, next play, and this one will you return new wait for seconds. Maybe we wait for about 2 seconds, and then after that we will set to play to be true. Okay, so we wait 2 seconds for. Okay, so the 2 seconds we can toggle later. Let's see whether this kind of works. Okay, I've done quite a bit of coding. I'm not too sure whether this works. So, okay, so the first problem is that the thing flew, but it flew to a wrong position. Okay, so the second one, I think the 2 second delay is a little long. Okay, so it turns out that only the first position is wrong. Okay, why? Why? Maybe we need to wait for like, I think a 0.5 seconds would be good. So you will go to player one first, then player two. Okay, so let's get this going. And somehow this thing is like slightly off. Okay, so now I have not really programming any logic. You can fly to anywhere. I just want to see the movement of it. So far looks good. Everything's running like clockwork. In fact, actually, I can even fill this person's board because I haven't set the restriction of one board yet. But the numbers go one by one to each player. Okay, so everyone has filled their boards. Okay, so we need to do something here. So like when the remove clover, detect clover count is zero, then we do nothing. Okay. Okay, so okay, so actually this is shouldn't be in the remove clover. It should be in the whatever function that calls remove clover. So like here, yeah. So that once we hit zero, it doesn't it doesn't update anymore. So let's try again. So you see the deck is 31 now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I like the flying mechanic. Really makes it feel much more dynamic and like the cut is really there. Okay, now there's a slight if you see over here this card, see if I click too fast, I mean if I were to click it slowly then there won't be an issue because then the cards will fly one by one and then okay, let's just solve this problem first. The first card is not going where it should. Okay, and I have a feeling it's because of time it needs before I. So basically, the position has not been updated yet. Is there a horizontal layout group here? Yeah, let's just remove it. That's probably why these layout groups are not exactly the best to use when you want to go to a current position because it takes time for the layout group to update. There we go, problem solved. So over here you can see you can like place it here 6 and maybe here will be 16 for yeah, I mean it's not exactly placed at the right position as in because I didn't implement the logic yet. If not, it will only allow certain placements of certain positions to be placed. But right now, I just want to see whether everything works. Okay, yeah, looks good to me. Click here, click here. So actually, I don't really want this button to be seen. Okay, but place it there. I don't really want this button to be seen. This button should only be activated when it's the player's turn. If not, it shouldn't be activated. Okay, so what we'll do is we have this actually it's very simple. I'll just take away the button here. We don't need a button for this. So I remove the button and I make the image empty, none. In fact, I can even remove the, okay, but let's just make the image none. Okay. Okay, over here actually we should unpack completely. I don't want this to be influenced by the prefab or to influence the prefab. Just remove the button. We just need, we don't even need the button click for this. Basically we just need like an empty button. So prefab, unpack completely. We take away everything. Remove this. Remove the button. We don't need the button. Uh, remove the button click. So essentially this becomes just a position, a placeholder position. Okay, and let's see how this goes. So yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it goes straight to that position, and then so we can't click on here anymore because we took away the button. We can still put on the table. So the table later I'll need to program it because the table should be dynamically expanding. Okay, as we have more and more pieces. So right now this is how the game is. Okay, I think, okay, over here we haven't updated the text yet. Okay, but it's pretty simple to update it. So when we have the player turn, so we have update player text. So over here we can have, okay, we can have public. Okay, we can actually, we just need void update player text. Okay, and then we can have like player plus player num dot to player turn dot to string plus mimic. So a place clover. This will be the clover, current clover. Okay, so maybe this part here I shouldn't do the prompt text yet. At the beginning, maybe at the end of everything, I'll have a next turn, next play. So we start off with player turn is 2. And then when we have the 2 play, we just update player what? A place clover what? A place clover current clover dot get component clover dot get number dot to string. Many functions called here. Okay, let's see. So now we should see the text alternating between player 1 and player 2 now. Okay, so now this is player 1, but it went to player 2 grid. So Maybe start with player one turn. So let's see whether this works. Player 2 may place clover 17. Okay, so the player text, the prompt is wrong. Should do it here. Update player text should be placed here. Okay, let's see whether it works. So now it should alternate between player 1 and player 2, and the cards will come down one by one. Okay, it's so cool. Okay, then next up, we can do like whether the player draws for the deck or the table. Okay, so this means that I need to make this entire area a button actually in order to do that. So let's see. Player 2 may place clover 1. Very good. And then it even has the clover number, so to tell people where to go. Simple game. Okay, I mean it need not be clovers, it can just be normal numbers. Awesome. Okay, so I think that's all. Okay, the core mechanic is more or less there. Okay, next up, before I do the table, I'll do a swap mechanic. Okay, what's a swap mechanic? It means that, okay, okay, yeah, maybe I should, I already know how to do the table. So a swap mechanic means if you place on the grid here, like if I click on the 7, okay, right now I don't have a button here, so I need to make sure that this clover does not block the ray tracing of Unity. So I need to make sure that happens. Okay, so now it's currently blocking. I cannot press my button. So ray castable, I need to set it to be off. And when I go here, this card should come here first. Then this card should be knocked out and sent to the table. So there needs to be a function where we have the clover, okay, being sent from the grid. Okay, it doesn't matter where the position is, because we could maybe use this buttons here, these individual buttons, which maybe under button click. We could use these buttons to store the game object of the clover above them. Okay, then once this card comes here, we can then kick out this object and make this object go to the table. Okay, then we can also program the dynamically adding table here, which will be a little more complicated, because this will involve um, the buttons here to be instantiated as the clovers go there. So I expect that to take a few hours to program the table. But for at the beginning, let's just have the table not be dynamic. Let's just have like empty places for the table here. We will program the dynamic part as we go along. And yeah, I would like to end here. Okay, just a short programming. Okay, and I'll continue this later tonight. Kind of like the core mechanic already. See, the card flies to the player. This part has been updated as the card comes down. Yeah, it looks pretty neat actually. If you ask me, it looks pretty neat. So you can put on the table. You can put on the grid. And maybe I'll make the buttons be highlighted. Okay, so these are some of the future improvements. We do them one by one. Okay, no need to rush because there's really a lot to do. And yep, I'll see you all then. Okay, bye.